Let's talk about boundaries again today. Today, we are going to learn three different ways that your body is telling you that your boundaries have been crossed. So, making sure that your boundaries are secure is an ongoing practice. Okay. I know that it takes sometimes so long for us to stay within our integrity because we've spent our whole lives not being in integrity, right? We've been trained to be so concerned about other people's feelings that we've completely shut down our feelings. So that when we get into a situation where our boundaries have been crossed, we second guess ourselves, we sabotage ourselves, and we deny our own feelings. So, today I want to give you three specific ways that you should be paying attention to in order to make sure that you know your boundaries have been crossed so you're not confused. So, the first way we need to pay attention. The first thing we need to pay attention to, and of course, this is all about listening to our body, because when we get into the spin of our mind can convince us that the world is purple and pink and rainbows, and when it's falling apart, like our brain is designed to protect us. So if you get into the monkey mind, it's going to convince you that that person didn't insult you, or that person didn't cross your boundary, in order for you to sort of maintain whatever emotional habits that you have been used to, right? So what I want you to do is to pay attention to your body, because that's where you get all the answers. The body tells us everything. Our body is our barometer to our emotional well-being. So before we get into the spin of our mind where we're questioning ourselves and our thoughts, what we really need to do is ask our body how it feels. Like, how did it feel when that person said that thing to you? How did it feel when somebody did something that you didn't like? That will tell you for sure if your boundaries have been crossed. So I'm going to give you three really significant sort of body clues that absolutely show you that there's something wrong and that a boundary has been crossed on some level. The first one is a headache. If you have a headache out of the blue for no particular reason, then there is a really strong chance that that headache is telling you something. Our head, in this whole area energetically, is aligned to our third chakra. Our third chakra, or our third eye chakra, not our third chakra, actually our sixth chakra, our third eye chakra is the place of intuition. This is our ability to see into the future. It indicates anger, frustration, and when we're in a situation that we can't get out of. Our third eye is where we go to when we meditate, when we envision. And it's very significant that when you have a headache for no reason, like, of course, you could have a headache because you've eaten something that's not working out for you. There might be something that gives you a headache. Like for me, it's MSG. You could have a barometric pressure headache for sure. But if you've got a headache out of the blue and you're not a person that usually gets headaches because of environmental issues, there's a really strong chance that you are angry about something. So this is where you can really hone in on what your body is trying to tell you, especially if you have a headache that starts to appear after you've had an argument with somebody, or somebody said something in the wrong way, and you might start to feel this tension in your head that might progress throughout the day. That is anger building up, okay? So when you have a headache, there is a really strong chance that that headache is because of that boundary that's been crossed. All right, so pay attention to how your head feels. The second one The second sort of clue within your body that indicates there is something going on emotionally is if you have IBS. IBS is absolutely a response to fear. It's a response to nervousness, anxiety, panic, and more particular fear. Fear in your gut is really aligned with your root chakra. And your root chakra, which is at the base of your spine, is the chakra energetically that keeps you connected to Mother Earth. It keeps you connected to tribe, your survival needs, your core needs, survival needs, and the back as well, your structure, anything to do with tribe connection, feeling feeling sort of connected to a group on some level is all around your connection to our purpose and our link to Mother Earth, right? Keeping us grounded. So when we start to feel IBS or a grumbly tummy for no reason, or a pain in your stomach, IBS really is all about having diarrhea, a volatile stomach, constipation might happen. This indicates fear or some sort of insecurity of the situation that you're in right now. So pay attention to your stomach. Stomach really is fear, and I know so many people are feeling a little bit of IBS these days. Fear in their stomach because we are in this situation in the world where our roots have been pulled out on many levels. We don't have jobs, significant others, divorce, breakups are happening everywhere. So it's very natural to find out that, this fear is landing in your gut. So what do you do with a situation like that? It could also be a fear of somebody, again, saying something. This is around, your relationships. Of course, I'm talking about relationships primarily. So if you're in a relationship where on the surface everything sort of feels fine and you're convincing yourself everything's fine, but your body is telling you and your IBS is acting up, or you're having diarrhea or constipation and any type of digestive issues, there's a really good chance that there is something going on with your root chakra and your sense of connection and your sense of security. So that's the second indication that your body is telling you. And the last really significant one that your body is saying, whoa, something is really going on here, is lower back pain. Especially now when everyone is being challenged financially. Our lower back, again, connected to our root chakra. Again, it's about support, core survival needs. For us, it's very much about finances. Anything in the lower back, in the back, is about finances. So, what's going on financially in your world right now? What do you need to adjust? What do you need to look at? Has somebody crossed your financial boundaries? Is your partner spending too much right now? Or are you in the process of divorce where everything is just like crazy, volatile? So, back absolutely has anything to do with the past as well. So financially, it's all about support from when you were really young coming up. That's trauma, deep trauma from childhood as well. So ask yourself this question. What am I feeling right now? What is it in my financial life am I feeling uneasy about? Is somebody doing it to me? Is there some force outside of my control that I need to look at, that I need to adjust my perception about? This kind of fear goes down to really root old stuff. This is old fear because you know that as an adult you can adjust things, you can get support, you can reach out to people, you can figure out what that is. But money issues in the back are past, even ancestral stuff. So it's the most significant type of pain that you can have. Okay, so let's look again at the 3 ways you can use that indicates that your boundaries have been crossed in some emotional way. So we looked at our head, right? Our headache. So if you have a headache that's just kind of like building and out of the blue, it sort of happened, you don't know what it is. Think about what happened recently. Who said what recently? What has upset you? What do you need to say to that person? Same with IBS. When you're feeling that volatile stomach, constipation, sort of up and down around that, again, who has crossed your emotional boundaries? Who is threatening your security on some level? Okay, who is that? What's going on in your world? It might not be a person, it might be your situation that you're in. Look at the situation from a removed point of view and see what can you do about this. Same with lower back pain. Look at your finances. Look at what's going on around you. Has somebody taken advantage of you? Are you feeling insecure about your finances? Ask yourself, why is that pain there? How can I manage that pain? How can I remove that pain and that fear from my body? Because all of these things indicate some sort of fear on a real deep emotional level. So here are ways you can respond. So of course, the first thing you need to do with your body is be gentle with it. So if you're feeling like you have a headache, be gentle with yourself. Do what you need to eliminate the pain, but look at why it's there. Same with IBS. Look at what you're eating. Perhaps you need to stay off of spicy foods, coffee, stay off of coffee. Look at how much water intake. You might need to increase that. Lower back pain. All kinds of amazing yoga poses to eliminate that lower back pain exist. Just go on YouTube and find them. But in the meantime, how do you deal with the spin in your head? What do you do with all the thoughts in your head around the boundaries that have been crossed? And this is where we learn effective communication. So it's never a good idea to respond in the moment, okay? Unless you are calm and grounded and you have the words to say, no, thank you, that doesn't work for me. I'm going to have to think about that. Can I get back to you? What you just did there was not a good thing. Okay, you have to be grounded in order to respond. But if you're in the situation where a couple of days later you're still having these weird body reactions and you feel like you can't approach the person, or perhaps it's the person's not even with us. Perhaps you're in a scenario where you can't even speak to the person. What you can do is write a letter. This is where your journaling practice comes in. So write a letter to that person explaining how you feel. So when you come from reaction, instead of pointing your fingers at that person, I want you to come from the point of view of expressing how you feel, right? So saying to that person, your reaction, what you said, what you did made me feel 1, 2, 3, ABC. And just leave it at that. Leave it at how it made you feel. So you acknowledge your feeling, you acknowledge it to the person, whether it's directly or indirectly, and that helps to release the spin in your head and the anger and the buildup in your stomach and the buildup in your lower back. Okay? So pay attention to your body. Your body tells you when your boundaries have been crossed. Pay attention to how your head feels, your stomach, and your lower back. If you're having any of those signals, then address what it was that just happened to you for yourself. If you can address the person directly, always come from the point of view of saying, you know, that thing that happened the other day, it made me feel this way. It made me feel insecure. It made me feel sad. It made me feel that we weren't connected anymore. It made me feel that you didn't love me anymore. And I just want you to know that and leave it at that. That will help remove that energy and that buildup in your body. All right, so pay attention to your body. Remember the 3 ways that you can absolutely indicate that your boundaries have been crossed. And then honor that feeling in your body and be gentle with yourself. And then eliminate that energy in the ways that I've suggested. Practice this, practice boundary setting all the time. Remember, your integrity is the most important thing. Your integrity comes out 3 feet energetically. So keeping your integrity intact is the key thing to everything in your life. All right? So have a good day with that. Remember, practice boundary setting. Practice, practice, practice. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me.